don't know what I'm doing at this point. Oh, goodness. Was gonna 50, but like 950, but like I was gonna do it also at 940, but like Iron just decides not to. Hello, the first person who has joined. Welcome. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. I need to talk more often. I need to talk to people more often. That's why I need to talk to people more often. Get better at socializing with people. I know. I don't. Fun. Gosh, I'm tired. Well, mostly mentally tired, probably. Mostly mentally tired because I took a placement test yesterday and it was like 3 hours long. And I didn't know half the things on there because there were like 8 sections. The only sections I know out of there were 3, and was science, word knowledge, and reading comprehension, I think. Hi. Hello. Welcome to the nightmare I call my room. And no, I'm not outside. People asked me, is this paint? Am I outside? No, I'm not. If you can, I'm pretty sure if you can't, there's a fan in the background, so if you can't hear the fan in the background, and there's also a shelf right up there. Also, this is paneling, by the way. It's not painted. Like, why would I do that, or would anyone do that to my room? No one. No one. I would have streamed earlier, but my brain just decided not to. Like, I did say, I was like, well, I'm just probably gonna stream at like 9:40, and then it goes, oh no, I'm gonna stream at 9:45. Yeah, it does. It does look real. I like it personally. Like, I may not want to go outside all the time. Like, I'm not outside all the time, even though I live out in the countryside and stuff. I still like it. It's pretty nice. Travel a lot, so. Like, I just took a really big placement test yesterday. It was like 3 hours long. It was the worst thing ever. Like, they had a section about auto body and shop. I'm like, what would I know about auto body? Yeah. But I'm like, what do I know about auto body? Like, does anyone see me as the person like knowing about auto body? Yeah, my dad works with like cars and stuff, and my grandpa works with like stuff like that too. I'm not the one who takes an interest in that, really. And there was another one that was like a computer, like coding and stuff, and I'm like, what would I know about that? I just know the basics. Not that much of a tech person. It really just, it places you in like a category and a career or something. Like, it's dumb. Like, but I have to take it. Well, I had to take it. I took it yesterday, but yeah, pretty much I'm mentally drained. I hated it. Let's see. So if you haven't heard, I had an allergic reaction on Friday. I made a post about it like on Sunday or Saturday, I don't remember actually. But I had an allergic reaction because I was standing in my driveway one day on Friday last week. Standing there, minding my own business, and something comes up on my right leg and bites me or stings me, and I don't know what it was actually. it just bitter sting me, and it hurt like heck. And my foot started to turn red, and I was like, oh, it's probably just normal. Boy, I was wrong. Boy, I was wrong. Um, I had an allergic reaction, and I walked around it all day at school for 5 or 6 hours probably, and then I went home, just complained about it. Everyone was like, oh, you probably just got like stung or bit like something. You probably might be having an allergic reaction. I'm like, what? Because like I've always known to be never allergic to anything. And then when my day just got even worse, I sat down on my porch and got stung on the finger. It's still there, actually. Both of my stings and slash bites are still there, and it hurt. It hurt, I tell you. It hurt to the point where I can only bend my finger like that much. That much. And I couldn't bend any farther. I can move it. And my aunt literally was like, oh, stick your foot in a bucket of water. I'm like, okay, and put some ice on your hand. And my aunt casually texts my dad, we need to take Sam to the ER. It's like, that's hilarious. Like, you just casually text someone. I know that injury's not funny, but like, ears to me. And he goes over and he's like, I broke 10 traffic laws just to get over here. I'm like, okay. Then he goes over to me and he says, you need to lie down flat and keep your hand and your leg elevated. Oh, and trust me, I did. For 4 or 5 hours. I laid on that couch in pain. Yeah, they were like, oh, take some Benadryl. I took 2 doses that day. Because I had to take one, like, every 2 hours. Didn't help. Didn't help at all. I was in pain completely. Like, it stopped, like, a little bit of it, but, like, I was still in pain. And I couldn't deal with it. Like, I was screaming. I was crying. I literally, the second day, it hurt so much worse. It just hurt us just as bad, but a little bit better, actually. But it still hurt so bad. It hurt really bad to the point where I was literally begging, and I mean begging, my family to take me to the hospital, but they wouldn't because my dad's more of a home fix guy. Like, he's like, oh, we can do this at home. No, this wasn't something you could do at home. Allergic reaction isn't something, because by then I had it over for 24 hours, and it was not going away. Swelling wasn't down. A little bit, but like not that much. I still was in pain a lot, and they just told me, take more Benadryl. I took more, still didn't help at all, still in pain, laying literally on the couch begging my family members to take. And I can't. And then I talked to my grandmother, and she goes, I can't because I don't have legal guardianship of you, but your dad can sign a paper for me to take you there. I'm like, well, then make him sign it. I said it to her, and like, didn't sign it. And then almost around like 11 o'clock at night, around 10 or 11 o'clock at night, or around 8, like, apparently my brother drove too fast the golf cart, and my dad got a splinter stuck in his hand somehow. I don't know, but he couldn't get it out, and that was the only reason I went to the hospital. It's because of that. And he's like, oh, might as well. And by the way, if you want to know, he took my stepmother with him, obviously. Hate him. And it hurt still a lot, and like, we check in and stuff, and if you don't know, my dad does not like masks. He's anti-masker. I personally just wear it. I don't mind it, honestly, but like, he just hates it. My stepmom kind of hates it too. And we got signed in and checked in. Everyone was wearing one except for him. And eventually got in a fight with the guard to the point where I started to have a panic attack on the bench about 20 feet away from them, 10, 20 feet away from them, literally, like, having a silent panic attack over there, and the security guard, not that this is funny or anything, but he goes, you know, you need to show more, you need to show set an example for your daughter, then she'll show more respect to you. I'm like, I ain't showing I show respect to him, just a little, very little, sir. Very little. For reasons. and I can't. And then, like, after that happened, like, it was literally like 40 minutes long that we were arguing. And I just was so shooken up. I couldn't stand still. I couldn't sit still. So I just literally had to start pacing back and forth. Like, back and forth. And my dad was like, you need to sit down. I'm like, no, I can't sit still. He's like, why? Like, because I can. Because I didn't want to explain them the actual reason. He'd be like, no, that's not why. And I just kept pacing back and forth for 2 whole hours. That was pretty exhausting, I can admit. And, like, I was really upset, because, like, my stepmother kept saying, like, some pretty mean things, like, oh, I would call you so many mean names right now. I'm like, whatever. You think I don't know that? But still, at the same time, I was upset because of it. And, like, when I go home and stuff, and, like, I was just being sassy, because I am. It's literally my personality. I'm sassy. Kind of. When I want to be. And then she hits me on, like, the arm right here. I had to straight up break down because of it. And, literally, I was screaming and crying like I couldn't stop, and the only person who calmed me down was my aunt. Like, that's the only reason I could. Like, I was there, like, don't let them get near me, don't let them hit me, don't let them touch me. I was literally, like, freaking out over it and stuff. It was bad, like, really bad. And, like, it was terrible for me. I had to deal with, like, my hand, like, it healed a lot more while I was there, but, like, it's fully fine now. Like, my hand and my leg are actually okay now. And let's see, like, my day was pretty bad that day. I barely got any sleep. Like, just really bad. Then, the next day, on Monday, was my first ever dance class. If you don't know, my dad has, like, recently signed me up against my will to dance lessons again. I didn't want that. I did not want that. He signed me up for modern at the old studio I used to go to, and I just didn't want to do it at all. I was really upset about it. Like, I think I cried about it, actually. Like, I don't know. But it was my first dance class, and it was terrible. Because they made me take my sweater off. Let's just say I was pulling my shirt down every single second of the class. Like, that's how dysphoric I was. And how, like, self-conscious and insecure I was. And she was like, oh, you need to... Yeah, I'd say that, but I'd get in trouble and he'd yell at me. I know. But he has legal custody of me and stuff. Like, I can't do anything to do with it about it. Or my grandparents, that too. But, like, she was the lady who was in charge of the class. She was like, "You need to wear a leotard." I'm like, "You think I'm wearing that tight thing that literally makes my butt pop out? Nuh-uh. Like, who wants to wear that? Who wants to wear that? Okay, who would want to?" And she was also like, "Oh, you have to wear these specific kind of pants." She's like, "You have to wear specifically, like, kind of dance-related pants, like leggings or something like that." And I'm like, "Lady, you think my family has enough money to provide for this? Because every month, apparently, we have to spend, like, $80 for every monthly payment." And you know what also is dumb? Is that I don't have to do, my dad's like, "You don't have to do the recital, you don't have to do the parade dancing, you just have to do the class." But then what's the point? Like, you're making me do something that I'm not even gonna get to the end of it. Like, and like the thing is, like, our song for our recital is about World War II. I might just feel like I'm in that. And I'm like, yeah, I was yelling at him the one time, okay? I was. Seriously. And, like, I want to strangle him sometimes. I'll admit that. I'll admit that. And then, like, a monthly payment of like $80. Do I want to pay? Would I want to pay that for? No. No. He is. He's pretty much a narcissist at this point. Like, he's kind of full of himself. And, like, you know. Yeah. He's good sometimes, though. He's okay. Like, mostly bad though. But let's see. I was gonna say something else. Like, I forgot. Darn it. What was I gonna say? It was something about my dance class. I don't know what was it. I don't know. But I did get my shoe size, and since I wasn't in dance for like 2 years, I had to get a large. My feet were so big. I have big feet. It's not my fault. And the fact that on the same day I started my first dance class, came out to my aunt, I was so embarrassed. I wanted to die. I'll admit that. I was just like, "Please end me. Please end me." Because I texted her on the way to school. I was on the bus. I literally texted a paragraph on, like, telling her and stuff. Because that's how I am. And then I was just like, "I'm dead when I'm home. I'm dead. I'm just dead." Like, you understand that, like, my dad could find out. And anyway, you know, actually, he found out I was ace once because at a point I thought I was ace, and like my therapist told me, "Oh yeah, your dad found out you're ace, and he thinks he's worried about you." And I'm like, why would he be worried about me? And I'm like, I'm surprised he hasn't kicked me out. Like, I mean, yeah, that would probably be illegal though. Like, I'm a minor. I'm 15. Hey, look. I've already came out to one of my parents. Like, only because she looked at my freaking messenger. Like, messenger account and stuff. That's about privacy. It's privacy. Yep, and that was fun conversation. And let's see. Oh, I came out to 2 people today too. I came out to one of my friends, and obviously he's perfectly fine. He's bi and he has a boyfriend and stuff. And he was okay with it. And the thing was, he thought I was bi, and the reason was I gave up vibes. Like I literally went, oh, well, I told one of my teachers something, and I purely regret it. And he's like, he's like staring at me, and like I'm like just like nervous over here, and he's staring at me, and he's like, what? Cause you're bi, and I'm like, and I just turn over this way, and I go like this, and I go like that. Just go like that. He's like, I knew it. And it's like, well, it's something similar to that, but it's not really close to that. And I go and I tell him I'm demi. I didn't tell him I'm trans though. I didn't tell him that. I just told him I'm demi. And then and he also knows about my boyfriend. Like the only problem about that is that my grandma and my aunt know him as a friend, and that we went to school. We didn't. And so does my therapist. Like, I just told her like last week or 2 weeks ago, and I go, oh, well, I have a boyfriend and stuff. And she's like, oh, how did you meet? I'm like, oh, we used to go to school together for like I don't know, a month or so. Just like, I was dying inside. I was just dying of laughter because it was too funny. Like how would someone normal react to someone having an online significant other? Like, my mom, when she found out, she was asking a bunch of questions. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't want to make sure he was like wasn't a creep. And I'm like, I understand that. I completely understand it. Like, yeah. But like, it's also been weird because I'm getting used to the feeling of this, because the thing is, this is my first relationship, and it's like one of the first times ever since like, I don't know, a year or two ago, since I've actually felt like the emotion of love. Like, I just don't feel it that often. So like, I'm pretty much used to it by now, like, kind of. Though, I'm embarrassed. Like, if he'll say something nice to me, he'll be like, that's fine or something, or you look nice. I will go like this. I'll even reenact it. Stop being so nice. You're being so nice. Stop it. I'll be like that. Like, I just get into this high-ranged voice, and he just chuckles or laughs or whatever, and like, just like, stop being nice. I complain about it, which is kind of dumb. Just like, because like, I don't have a lot of people that are nice to me that often. And when we were in our first like 1 or 2 months into our relationship, I did this thing where I went in my hidey hole, and it was called, it's my blanket, and I went under it. It's true. I used to do it a lot. But I also came out to one of my teachers my special education teacher, I gave her a letter because I was like too chicken. I was too chicken to say it because fuck, I'm not a social person. And and then I give her a note and like after my third period class, and in my eighth period class, she walks around a bit and stuff, and then she comes up to me. And mind this, two people in that class, 2 or 3 people in that class know about it, about me being trans and demi, and they're sitting there, and then this one guy is sitting behind me that I hate, and then the other guy sitting in front of me, I'm perfectly fine with, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of funny, actually. He's one of the funniest guys. I'll admit. I'll admit. I'll admit that. But she literally comes up to my desk, like on the side of it, and she whispers, and this is literally what she said. She's like, Sam. I'm like, I'm just embarrassed. I'm hiding my face like this. I'm literally going like this, down and like down, and covering up my face, and she goes, I got your note. And then I'm like, oh goodness. And then she goes, not gonna lie. She goes, I was crying. And she goes like this. And I was having tears. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. She's like, and then later she comes up to me and she's like, how's it going? Like in that exact tone of voice. And I'm like, just like the first few days when I tell someone, I get nervous. Like I'll be a little like that. But like if it's like a month or so, or a couple months, like I'm used to it. But still, like I've come to points where I'm like, oh, maybe I should tell my classmates, all of my classmates. I'm like, oh well, there's still a chance that I could get picked on and bullied, or my whole family could find out. And like only a few of my family members know. And like there's like 4 family members that I'm never gonna tell. Because they're gonna hate me forever. And 2 of them are gonna tell me. Yep. Like when I gave her that note, I just literally handed her like casually like that, and I walked out there, and I'm just like, go Sam, go. I'm just like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And then like later, like in my 6th period class after lunch, I was like, I wanna die. I want to be impaled or maybe cut my head off because like I'm so descriptive when I'm talking about death. Oh my goodness. Like I act like it's normal because it is kind of like I pretty much live in a destructive household at this point because my siblings are destructive and like crazy. I don't know. I don't know if I would call it that though. Really. Hey, but good news. Friday's tomorrow, and guess what that means? I get to upload stuff. But also, good thing, I've managed to keep up on my homework, which is amazing. Surprisingly, actually. I've got a history project due in like a week or 2. It's like you're supposed to make your own like civilization and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna get my grandma's help because like I don't know a thing. I just don't know a thing. Like he was supposed to give us a rubric last week in the early week, and it didn't. And like after he's done talking about it, he goes, does anybody know dumb laws about our state? And by the way, if you don't know, I live in PA. I'm not saying which area I live in, because, like, it's personal, obviously. People can know me. And he goes, does anyone know some dumb laws? And I casually raise my hand like this, and I go, there's a law where you can't sleep on top of a refrigerator, and you can't sleep in your bathtub. And then he goes, and he explains all of them. And then the one guy that I hate, obviously I hate a lot of them, but like the one guy that I really hate, he goes, oh, well, there's this chemical and stuff. I'm like, how would you think I know this? Like, and then, like, also I go and I raise my hand. I know another dumb law, and it's not from the States. It's a different country, and it's like, it goes, you can't marry a dead person, and I think it's in Britain or France, and other people, I don't know if they were creeped out or not, and I'm just like, I walk into the classroom, and I go, don't ask how I know these. Just don't ask how I know these. The reason I know this is because of one day when I was going on a vacation like 2 years ago, I was literally searching up dumb laws, and like one that was in Washington, it went and go like, you can't, on Sunday you can't kiss a man with, my light went off. Shush. I'll plug that in. Hold on a second, my light's going out. But my power. I know. I don't know if I'm gonna do how to do this. I'll just turn it. I'll keep the light off. You guys don't mind. But what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh, right. The dumb law I was talking about in Washington. You can't, on Sundays, you can't kiss a guy with a mustache. You can't, apparently. You can't. And that'd be terrible for my grandma. and that would be good for my dad and my stepmom, because he has a full-on freaking beard. Like, he has like kind of a beard, and like, that's good. That's you can actually see my face a little bit. But like, yeah, I'll just keep it like that. That's good. But like, week has been like kind of chaotic, I guess. I don't know, actually. Like the other day, I was talking to my boyfriend, and I was like, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry that I didn't call yesterday. I fell asleep. And I'm like, that's okay. And not that you would or anything, but I just thought that you ignored me. He was like, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, I know, I'm just an overthinker. That's what I do. and I went, and I go, I'm sorry for not calling the day before, because we didn't call 2 days in a row. And I go, well, because I fell asleep. Because, like, I texted him, and I fell asleep, like, 2 minutes after I texted him, and he tried calling me. And then the other day, I texted him, like, 4 times while I was watching TikTok and stuff. Like, yep. I've been trying to get videos out lately. Like, I'm still surprised. I've been managing my schedule. Like, I've still gotten like kind of my regular hours of sleep. Like, I've still gotten like the usual, like 4 or 5 hours of sleep I get. Like, that's normal for me. Like, that's just what I'm gonna have to deal with. Because like most of my days, like, I have to get my homework done. I have to take care of my grandma now, because like she's really sick right now, and she got out of the hospital like a week ago or something, or a couple weeks ago, and she's been really sick and stuff, and I couldn't see her for like a whole week.
So, not 18, obviously, and I couldn't visit her. And she's really sick now, and I have to take care of her, which means I'm busy a lot more now. And I have to watch my siblings, like, more specifically my 8-year-old brother. Not my 13-year-old sister anymore, really. Pretty sure she could take care of herself. And now I've got all these, like, because I just turned 15, my dad's expecting to teach me how to drive soon and stuff and get my permit and stuff. And I'm like, how am I gonna do all this? And then he's like, sign me up for dancing and stuff. And now I've got cross country I still have to do. And I've got this channel I have to do. I'm gonna keep, like, my relationships, my relationship with my boyfriend in general, alright. And I call him every single night just to talk with him, like, all night for like a couple minutes, like 30, 40 minutes. I don't mind it really, as long as I feel better when I talk to him. Honestly, like, he makes my day. Makes my day. Excuse me. But like, yeah, I've just been more busier lately, and I haven't been able to upload as much lately and stuff. I haven't been able to get videos out that often anymore, because like my homework is like pretty big priority for me, kind of like keeping up with my stuff lately. I'm gonna try and keep up with it, because like I'm now starting my history project right now. It's gonna take a long time for me and stuff. And in science class, or in my biology class is what it's called, we're raising brine shrimp. They're like tiny, tiny shrimps. And we're raising them, and we put, it's like an experiment, so we have 4 things of it, and we pour a liquid into the water with them in it. And me and my partner decide to put one of the most dangerous things ever in it, and we put acid. And tomorrow we're gonna dump them down the drain, because like, not allowed to keep them. And yesterday I told this to my boyfriend, and he goes, "No, I want to keep them." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, but I don't think my teacher would let me." And like today, me and my partner literally named every single freaking shrimp we found. We found, in the first 2 we found 11 alive and like 6 dead. And you could see them with your eyes without a microscope. Like, you could see them, but just little tiny, little teeny tiny. And in our 4th one, we found like 1 possibly dead. Because I named one of them after my brother, and that was the 1 possibly dead in the 4th 2. And I named it after my brother. And the first one that we found, my partner named, and she named it Tommy. And like literally every single one that we found, we gave a name to it. It was hilarious. And then one of them, she was like Gary, Greg, Matthew, Matt, like John, Mark. Like, we just gave a Bill. Bill was another one. In case you don't know, the one I named after my brother, its name was Demon Child, because I'm calling my brother my demon child, because he's a little psychopath, if you don't know. He chases around with knives. He likes to sit on top of me a lot. Hurts. I can't breathe. He did it to that today. It was really fun, you know. He's destructive. Also, is my sister. We're just like that naturally. Yeah, but they are cute. But like my biology teacher, she was telling me this story about this one girl who had a literal breakdown because they dumped them down the drain. And I'm like, because they're cute. And I'm like, okay, yeah, they're cute, but would I have an actual breakdown? Like, I'm the most emotional person ever, probably in the whole entire class. But would I have a breakdown? No. Like, today, I was just really sassy. I don't know, but, like, I was just sassy altogether. Like, the one guy that I hate, like, I was just like, oh my gosh, you're gonna die. I was just really sassy. I don't know why. I was just like that pretty much the whole day. And yesterday, my brother spent $62 at a book fair at his elementary school. My stepmom and my dad had a literal freak out, and my dad was, and he also was upset that day because like some kids were being mean to him, and like he sat on the curb and stuff, and I'm like, and he's like, oh, what do the kids do? And I literally am carrying groceries in at the same time. It's like, I have to. It's like a task. And I go and I explain it to him, and literally I explain, oh, this is what happened. And then he literally full on yells at me and he goes, I did not ask you. I'm like, jeez, dude, like, I just freaking explained it to you. Oh my goodness. Like, you don't have to yell at me. Stop being so bipolar. All the time. It's like, jeez, you don't have to yell at me. But I kind of get why. He was upset. Cause like, he's 8 though, because he's 8. Like, what do you expect him to do with all that money? And plus, you guys were the ones who gave him that money. Like, what did you expect him to do with it? Like, I have over $100, and I don't spend any of it unless I need to. Like, at a time where I barely had anything to eat, and I mean literally anything, I would go to my school cafeteria and buy stuff from there. Like, I'd buy like a cookie and like a bag of chips or cookies and take them home with me just to eat. And I would literally take a full-on water bottle home with me to drink for the entire day, pretty much. I could not drink or eat anything, pretty much. Like, I'm just picky in all general. And because we didn't go to the store for a long time, and I was tired and exhausted because I didn't have pop for over 2 weeks. It was terrible. I can admit that. And I was pretty much living on like chocolate milk and Gatorade. That was it. It's terrible. But thankfully we got some and stuff, and like I'm probably the fan now. I don't like that I can hear every single thing in my house. It terrifies me. I can admit that. Like, I'm gonna actually try and like turn my freaking thing back on. There we go. I turned it back on. Because like the dark is kind of scaring me a little. Scary. It's being a little scary in here because I don't like. I like dark, but not that dark. Like, sometimes I like see things, like eyes, like glowing eyes, and like. That was a rumble. That was fun to hear. Really fun. Yeah, but you know, my week has, my week or past week or two has been crazy. I mean crazy. Like, I've came out to 3 people in a week.
that's my goal. That's my complete goal. It's literally a goal. Like, that's how many people in a whole week. That's the most people in a week that I've came out to. That I can remember, actually. Well, besides my channel, that is. But I'm trying to get some videos out. I'm working on some videos right now and stuff. And, you know, got some audio videos coming up and stuff. And I'm also doing my Wattpad story. It's literally the same as my YouTube name. I'm writing that. And one of my classmates thinks I should be a writer, honestly. And I'm like, well, I write pretty well and I put the effort into it, but like, would I want to be a writer? Like, I'm also kind of between being a teacher at the same sort, like, though I would go for kids, children. Like, do I want to deal with moody teenagers, honestly? And, like, teach that hard level math? No. I think I'd go for special education, though. You know, because I'm special education, like, I don't know. I kind of sort of, like, interested in it a little bit. And, like, video making is kind of an interest for me, too. Like, I've also taken that interest. I was writing a book at one point. Like, that was one thing I did. And it was weird. I still have it. Like, I have, like, 5 chapters. Like, not full-on big chapters. Just, like a page or 2 chapters. Like, a couple paragraphs. Like, not that many. Because, like, it started out as an assignment for English. And then I was like, well, I could write that. I also wanted to write a journal last summer. But I didn't. It's like, I stopped, like, a couple weeks into the summer. Like, I was gonna. But, like, I just quit. Like, completely quit when my mom had a vacation, like, and took me on vacation with her, like, a couple weeks into the summer. And stuff. Yep. Taking my sweater off. It's hot. Jeez. Just, like, I feel mentally kind of tired right now. Like, just mentally, though. Physically, not really. Like, at times I feel like I'm 50 years old. Like, I'll just feel like I'm really old or something. But I'm not. It's probably because, like, I have, like, low calcium in my bones. And calcium is, like, what builds your bones and stuff, and I have to have it, like, like, a calcium medicine for it and stuff. And, like, I need it, and just my bones are, like, weaker, I guess. Which is weird, because, like, we have a bone disease in our family, like calcium deposits. They're called calcium deposits. I just don't know the specific term for it. And it's, like, extra bones and, like, stuff. Like, I don't have any. All my siblings. But, like, I don't have any. I just have really weak bones. Yeah, I don't know either. I am just talking about random crap. Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about my bones. And calcium. Calcium is, like, bone building stuff. Like, it literally makes your bones stronger. And it builds it more. I don't have a lot of it. So I have to take these gummies in order to, like, have stronger bones. And let's just say, I haven't taken them in the last, like, 3 years. Yes, that's literally the title. Like, I swear, the only reason I'm streaming right now is because I have stories. I literally have a story every day. Because, like, my life is so interesting and I don't know why. Like,
my boyfriend will go, like, your life is so much more interesting than mine. I don't have any stories and stuff. And I'm like, then why don't you have a more interesting life than me? I don't like having an interesting life, kind of. Like, all I want to do, like, the only reason I'm putting effort into, like, the only reason I'm putting effort into my schoolwork is so I can graduate and, like, just move out, honestly, and stuff. You know, a lot of people point this out. I pointed this out at the beginning of the stream, but just to let you know, this is paneling, not a painting, not paint. This is paneling, not wallpaper. Like, I, a lot of people think I'm outside too, but I have a fan right there, I have a shelf right there. A person thought that one time. Very interesting. That was an interesting stream, I'll tell you that. But, like, if you guys want to watch the stream back, like, it'll upload, and if you guys missed anything or something, like, you can literally watch it back, and you'll hear the stories that you did not hear from me, because, like, I had a bunch of stories that I would tell this stuff. Why does it look like that? I don't know. I'd show you my home. Like, literally all over here is paneling, and this wall, like, kind of over here is like just bare wall, because it's gonna be chalkboard, but we still haven't put the chalkboard paint on and stuff. And, like, yeah, my room's not finished. I have half a ceiling, by the way, so, like, I'm pretty sure all of the no, only 2 of the rooms in this house, like, have half a ceiling. Or just no ceiling. My sister has no ceiling. She's literally right over there. I'm also kind of glad that she sleeps early. Because right now she would be screaming swears at me right now. During the stream, we're talking about walls. Yeah, we're talking about walls, people. We're talking about walls, and we're talking about ceilings. And, like, my room is, like, so unfinished. Like, I'm pretty sure the other rooms are more unfinished than mine, though. I have no doorknob. The door's not finished. I have a bare wall that's supposed to be a chalkboard wall. I freaking have half a ceiling. Why is there a ceiling? Because my grandpa's working on it, and he hasn't worked on it since, like, June. Let's see. I have a blanket covering my freaking, window because I have curtains, and sometimes they blow. And let's see. I don't have a closet door. And I can literally see in there, like, literally from here. This is why I sleep against the wall. Like, sleep against here, like, every night. It's really comfortable. Yeah, there's, like, cords hanging from the ceiling. I also put socks in that doorknob, so when I'm changing, because, like, I feel like someone's gonna look through there, and I just don't like it. Like, I even complain about, like, the little holes over there in my wall. Just like, can you please close those up? And stuff. I don't know. This has just become random stories, like, that I'm telling of my week so far. Oh, another thing. I was, I was almost in a tornado again. Because down the road, a person got some tornado warnings, and so my grandma's like said, like, oh, well, we should take everybody, and I was in the store with her, and we bought some stuff, and then we went out to a restaurant and stuff, and we were there, and we ate and stuff, and then we went home. It was like raining. It was pouring cats and dogs. It was like windy, so windy. And yeah, that was yesterday. Today also with one of my guy friends, uh I was like, "Oh, I can't read that." Like I was literally like only 40, 50 feet away from the board or something like that, and I couldn't see it. I could read it. It just was blurry. Like it's like you can't read that? I'm like, yeah, and then he takes his glasses off, he sets them down, he's like, put those on. I put them on. I look so nerdy. I literally look so nerdy. And, yeah. And, um, I put them on, and he takes a picture of me, and he sent it to me. And we just, if you send that to someone else, they kill you. Like, sure, if you wanna, it's fine with me, I guess. Um, but I put his glasses on and I could see perfectly fine with them on. I'm like, I have so many problems. I have so many problems with me. Like, one time I had a problem with my freaking acne. Like that was a problem. And I have a problem with my freaking teeth now. I got a tooth pulled like a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I not very good at choosing. I'm not very good at choosing because I have a ton of characters. If I were to choose, like, just choose like some of the like less seen characters, I guess. Like you can choose some of the Aftons or like, um, the less seen characters, I guess, like the less seen characters. Like for example, Owie's friends, like they're not seen really that much. Only in reaction videos, honestly. Like I just don't have like plots, like somewhere to fit into the plot. Like it's fine, just like I'm just gonna say like just draw like some of the less sane characters. Like you can just oh I've got an idea. How about you draw uh the demon, like the main antagonist, the demon. Like I don't even have a specific name for her. I just call it. It's literally her name is question mark question mark question mark, and I just call her demon because like literally she's like a demon devil thingy, and like she's like the whole reason. Like if she were not a thing, my series wouldn't have happened. Like that she wouldn't if I didn't put her in the story or something, or like if James was in the story, or like all this stuff didn't happen, then I probably wouldn't have a Subway series. It'd just be random things, like I don't know, like in the fact that people would be so surprised of that me, the most antisocial kid in school, has almost has over 15,000 subscribers. And plus, like, my town is very small. There, I don't know if any big YouTubers around here, like, if there any are any of them around here even. Like, I come from a very small town, I'll tell you that. I don't know. They also would be surprised, like, how many stories do you have in your life? Space movie. I don't know what you said, but I have a bunch. Like, I have, like, I have two sections of memory. I have short term and I have long term. Like, or, like, I technically have another section where it's, like, short term, but like, I still remember. But, like, today, I told my grandma that cats are afraid of cucumbers. She's like, where did you find about that? I'm like, I watched a Minecraft roleplay series. And I'm serious. The reason I found it is the one episode on Afma's channel. I used to watch her a lot. And it was like one of like the short skits thingies like she did. And it was like, cats are afraid of cucumbers. If cats are afraid of cucumbers, then mayflies are afraid of cucumbers. And I put that into my head. And then like for some reason like I heard it like a couple more times. And I just brought it up out of nowhere. And my grandma, then she's like, "Is that actually true?" And there's no way that's true. And I literally looked it up, and it's actually true. And the reason is because the cat thinks it's a snake, because cats have an actual instinct on avoiding snakes. Yeah. Like my grandma was cutting up a cucumber, and I was like, and she was like, "Do I watch MHA?" Not really anymore. Not really, actually. Like, I don't watch anime that often. Like, most of the recent one I've watched recently was, I don't know, it was like a yaoi anime or something. I don't know. I forgot what it was called or something. But one of the other ones was Toradora. It's a romance anime, and I like it actually. It's a pretty long series. Like, it's 3 seasons long. I like it. And I think I was watching Yuri on Ice too. Yeah. That too. That too. But I'm not caught up. I'm seriously not caught up on like it at all. Like I'm not even caught up. Like I just like kind of in the beginning of like season 3, like still. I don't really remember something. Like, I don't remember. Like, yeah. I'm not really caught up or anything on it and stuff. And I've just had like the biggest short-term memory. Sometimes like I'll just like my girl will tell me like to get something, and then I go and get it. She told me to get 3 things today. She told me to get a dishcloth, a glass of ice, and water. I got the dishcloth. I got the glass of ice, and I was like, what? There's one more thing. Then I go up to her and I'm like, Grandma, I forgot the last thing. I got your dish towel, I got your glass of ice, but I forgot the other thing. And she's like, what do you put in this? And I go, drinks? You put in drink? And she goes, water. And I'm like, well, I didn't know. And technically it's the same thing. Just put the talking to walls and stories. This is the well, it's literally called a random streams. Like, I literally have random stories. Like the most random. If you go back and listen to all my stories, they're completely random and completely off topic. That's just me in general. Like I'll be just like talking about something, and then it takes me another story to talk about it, and another story to talk about it, and then I get to the point. I also talk in weird voices sometimes, like randomly, like today I was just talking I talk a lot of weird voices all the time. Like sometimes I'm talking a southern accent. Probably because I'm like used to like listening to country music all my life and stuff. I don't know actually. Do I watch Steven Universe? No, I've heard of it though. Like I watched kind of clips of it, but like I've never watched it. I don't watch a lot of the things that like people usually watch. Like I grew up at PBS Kids, people. Your voice can't be weirder than that. My voice can't be weirder than that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see about that one day. Like, have you ever heard the highest my voice can go? 'Cause it is so bad. It literally sounds like someone is literally being strangled or choked to death. Or someone dying. Trust me. That's literally what it sounds like. That's literally what it sounds like. I grew up on PBS Kids, people. I grew up on PBS Kids. And kind of Nickelodeon, too. And Disney. I grew up on Disney movies. And people will be surprised the fact that I never watched iCarly. Never. I'll tell you that. I never watched it. A lot of people say a lot of people talk about it. I'm like, I don't get the references. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I never watched it as a kid. I like how my voice is just going in and out of tone. It like goes so deep, and then I'll just go high, back up high. Like, that's my voice. It's probably because like I'm maturing and stuff. Like I'm growing older. Also because like I didn't really talk for half a year one time. Yeah, well I'm addicted to Gotcha Club and YouTube and stuff. So yeah, and TikTok. That too. That too. That too. Yep. But literally, this is just a random stream. Like my birthday stream was literally just like Q&A-ish and like random-ish. And then my anniversary was Q&A, random-ish. Mostly Q&A though. I'm the only one watching this right now. Yeah, you are, and that's okay. That's okay. The fact that I'm okay, that's fine. And the fact that I'm okay with talking to people on the internet, random strangers on the internet, but I'm not okay with talking to my classmates who I've known for like over 10 years. Talking in front of them. I'm so antisocial. Like I'm comfortable like with talking to people I don't know that long, but not people who I've known for years. Like they've known you so long. Like they've known you so long. Like when I told my teacher when I came out to her today, she's like, she's only known me for like a couple weeks and stuff. And I was like, oh, I was still nervous. Like, I was really nervous and stuff. But like, I'm more nervous. Like, I, yeah. You're fine. You're fine. You're only 67 minutes late. You're only over 60. You're only over an hour late. You're only over that late. But I've been writing my Wattpad story of my series. If you want to if you want to read that, that's okay. The guy I drew was here. Oh. Hey, the guy I drew is here. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Uh. Yes, you missed. It's been over an hour and possibly 8 minutes. You've missed. You missed a lot of stories. Like, it's been a random stream. I'll tell you that. It's just a random stream, honestly. It's just random. Like, it's literally for 7 minutes we were talking about my wall. Yep. And then at one point we were talking about cats and cucumbers. Yeah, we talked about walls. You're fine. You don't have to apologize. Oh my goodness. You don't have to apologize. You okay? Okay. I'm the one who has to. I didn't stream on time. Technically I was late and early. Like, you don't have to say sorry. I'm the one who has to say sorry. I'm the one. You don't say sorry anymore. Oh my goodness, you don't have to apologize. You know, you can just go back and like watch it. You could just go back and watch it, you know. Like when it's uploaded and stuff. But it's gonna be a while. and stuff. Now let's keep talking about walls. People don't talk about what's behind me up on my shelf. There's only one person who knows about that. And what is above me is artistically designed skulls. That's what it is. Like, I have literally 15 of them around my room, and I feel terrified of them pretty much. Actually, more so my grandmother. She hates them, and I get them. I like them personally. And I almost got stung again. Because yesterday a bee came into my room, and it landed on my finger, and I was like, shoot it away. And I put it under my blanket. Don't know why. And then I went with my sister, Sarah, there's a bee in my room. I went to my grandma first, but then I went to my sister, and she's like, I'm gonna kill it. And then she grabs this book. The book's still on my bed. I haven't moved it yet. I'm too lazy. And she literally smashes it like that. Just okay. And then she grabs a tissue and runs, literally runs down into my into our kitchen. Yeah. That was an interesting experience, you know. This spine woman is watching me. My sleep paralysis demon is watching me. The one under my bed. I feel like that's happening. Because my bed has, a lip, kind of. Dip. The mattress is bigger than the box spring. So it kind of moves out of place. And, no one can fit under there, though. No one. No one. But, I feel like that sometimes. Yep. Fun. And the fact that I quit. My dance class ends in May. No, I'm not gonna. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. Alright. Are we talking about demons now? Is this what it's become? Demons? Demons. You just see my head and my neck now. My head and my neck now. Yep. Fun. And just at the same time, I want to strangle my biology teacher. She's still not calling me by my perfect name. Not fun. Not fun. I literally will go to school with a name tag that says that Sam on it, and my preferred name on it, and I'll be, hey, what's up? I'd never say something like that, but okay. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed I've been getting more self-conscious about my voice. I'll have, high-pitched moments. I'll go high-pitched, and I'll talk in a very feminine voice, and I'll be like, oh, I hate that. The other day I was I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't like that very much. I've noticed that lately. It's not very fun. Thing is, my given name isn't even spelled correctly the way it is because of identity theft and like it's special. Apparently I'm special. Apparently I'm a special person. Um, I don't know. The fact that my grandma, who was born in 1954, wants to keep my hair the same, but my dad wants to grow it out, and he was born in the 80s. That says a lot. Yeah, name one crazy thing that has happened to you. Let's see. I fell from my attic when I was 7, and the hole is still there. It's been 8 years. We're gonna fill it in, and I took a picture of it just so I could show it to the next generation. I'm not saying that I'm having kids, but like, I'm just saying, like, if one of my siblings have kids, I'm gonna show that picture to them. Be like, hey, children, this is the hole I fell out of when I was 7 years old. And guess what? I did not break any bones. Just a lot of scars and bruises. Then the most funny thing that was happening. Oh. It happened this week or last week. One of my classmates and I can't believe he did this, but the one guy that is so funny, one guy, we were in my career class, it was fourth period, and we were in my career class, and he'll just mess around all the time, and he has these other two friends that he messes around all the time. Okay, listen. Okay, back to my story. And he was messing around in class, and he literally was taking masks out of his friend's bag and putting them all over him. Like he put one on his head and one. He kept layering them on his mouth and nose until they fell off, and then he just connected one to one, looked like a bra, and I'm like, I'm just dying over there. My teacher's like, well, this is the most fun that Sam has had in a while. I'm like, yeah, in years. I'm just dying over there. I couldn't help myself. Like, I was trying to compose myself, but I just couldn't help it. Like, it was too funny. It was hilarious. The most strangest thing that's happened to me. Um, 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 I have two though, because like a couple of years ago I went on a trip and I went to Yellowstone and we were literally on the edge. We were driving on the edge and I was terrified out of my mind that we were gonna fall over. And two, I was run over by a golf cart on my legs. I don't know how old I was though, but like I was run over by a golf cart on my legs one time. I was gonna lay down and my dad back up on my legs. That's not the highest pitch my voice can go, by the way. He just backed up on my legs. Like, I was, like, young still. Like, can you not see me? I was probably, like, pretty young, so, like. Plus, I'm a pretty short person. I'm to the point where, like, I'm literally as tall as the 7th graders in my school. I'm 5'2" or 3. I'm 15. Yes, what is the question you must ask? Yes. What is it? What would you like to know? You may ask the question you must know from me or whoever it is. Plus, I'm probably gonna end in a while. Cause I know. I have school tomorrow. I don't know what time it is because I don't keep track of time. I'm supposed to keep track of time. Like, yeah. Just people. Just yes or no to what? I'm confused. My brain is confusion. Like yes or no to the question, to asking a question, or yes or no for the question. Like, oh. Like you just asked me like yes or no. Like I like I was confused. I'm confusion. Like, are you asking me yes or no for a question? Like for you to ask me the question, or the yes or no is the question? Like, I'm confusion. You know, I was literally talking yesterday. I was talking like normally how I'll think about it. Like really, like right now, I'm just kind of busy and stuff with like schoolwork, and I got a project that I gotta do and stuff. I'll think about it for a while. Honestly, I've got busy work and stuff. Sophomore here, like yeah, and you know, what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. I forgot what I was saying. Again, it's normal for it to happen. What was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? Like, what was I talking about? Goodbye. I'm just thinking of what I was gonna say. If someone figures that out, tell me. Like, I don't know. I'm not very good at memory. Yep. Really shouldn't be drinking this. But I am. Yeah, so I'm gonna head off because I got school. I gotta call my boyfriend. Um Still gotta work on videos and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna head off. Still I don't know what I'm streaming next because like I don't know what to stream about really, like just random. It'll be random completely. Like I don't plan streams, I just do them random. But like I'm gonna head off and stuff, and like I'll just post when I can or upload when I can. I uploaded today, but like I'll upload when I can possibly. Just realized how pale I am and how red my cheeks are. But like I will post when I can. So I will just see you guys soon. I don't know. Really. Um, goodbye.